A very good evening to one and all present here. Today we'll be discussing on the topic Balanced Scorecard. Now let's look at the definition of Balanced Scorecard. Balanced Scorecard is referred to as BSC, is a framework to implement and manage strategy. When we see an organization actually has a lot of strategies, so it is actually a framework to achieve the strategy, and it links with the vision to strategic objectives, measures, targets and initiatives. It has a link to objectives, measures and targets and initiatives of the company, and it balances financial measures with performance measures and objectives related to all other parts of the organization, and it is a business performance management tool. Overall, when you look at Balanced Scorecard, it's actually a performance management tool of the organization, and it is related to every department of the company. Now let's look at the various Balanced Scorecard performance measures. The first one is the Balanced Scorecard is linked to performance measures. Performance measures can be related to performance in every department of the company by every employee. So every department is having a lot of tasks, objectives and initiatives that are actually undertaken, and these are actually done to achieve the final organizational goals. Next is how do the customers see us? Actually, every customer has a certain perception about one particular company or one particular brand. For example, when people think of a toothpaste, the first thing that comes to their mind is Colgate. And there are various other brands, but since Colgate has existed for a very long time, people consider Colgate as their first preference, and that's the first brand name that comes into the mind of the people. So customers have a certain brand image in their minds about this particular company. Next is what must we excel at. There are many companies in which they will be excelling in various other fields, but they may be failing in this particular areas. For analyzing this, they use various matrix systems such as BCG matrix and other systems. And they actually try to figure out their weakness, and they try to fix the problems which are actually there in the organization. They actually try to find out which are the areas where they are performing exceptionally well, and which are the areas where they are actually lacking in their performance. Next is, can we continue to improve and create value? That is, continuous improvement can be done only if the company is an innovative company. For example, if you take the case of mobile phones, we can see constantly the companies actually try to improve the performance of the mobile phone with a reduced cost, because now we can see there are a large number of mobile phones. Earlier it was almost like a monopoly with Nokia almost dominating the market, but now Nokia is totally out of the market because they did not focus much on innovation. They were not able to implement the Android system. They did not implement that. And because of this particular reason, now you can see Nokia is almost out of the market completely. Now the market is completely dominated by other brands such as Samsung, Xiaomi and more. Now let's look at the Balanced Scorecard performance measure. That is, it's mainly divided into four. That is financial perspectives, internal business perspective, innovation and learning perspective, and customers perspective. As I said, in innovation and learning perspective, it's all about continuous innovation process that's taking place in the company. That is, can we continue to improve and create value? So, if your company is not able to create value in the mindset of the customers, the company won't be able to survive with that particular product in the market and will eventually go down. Every product should actually create a need. The companies say what they must do is they have to try to identify the needs and wants of the customer. Then only they'll be able to survive in the market in the long run. Now let's look at the various advantages of Balanced Scorecard. First, the scorecard brings together in a single management report many of the seemingly disparate elements of a company's competitive agenda, becoming consumer oriented, shortening response time, improving quality, emphasizing teamwork, reducing new product launch times, and manage for the long run. That is, they actually try to reduce the timings in which they actually respond to the customer. For example, if you see like very high end companies, they actually respond to the customers in social media within a period of nearly 1 hour. With, like immediately they actually try to reduce. For example, the people use Twitter to actually get the attention of the companies if they are in urgency of any need. And there are many other platforms in which the business actually exists. There are many profiles such as companies use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. for various purposes. Second, the scorecard guards against sub-optimization by forcing senior managers to consider all the important operational measures together. And the balanced scorecard lets them see whether improvement in one area may have been achieved at the expense of the other. Even the best objective can be achieved badly. They actually try to make sure that they should not compromise on one thing to achieve other objective. The ultimate goal should be to achieve the final goals and objectives of the company. The next one is companies can reduce time to market. For example, in two different ways, by improving the management of new product introduction or by releasing only products that are incrementally different from existing products. Spending on setups can be cut either by reducing setup times or by increasing the batch sizes. Similarly, production output and first pass yields rise, but the increase may be due to shift in product mix to more standard, easy to produce but lower margin products. Next is from the customer's perspective. That is, many companies today have a corporate mission that focuses on the customer. That is the number one in delivering value to the customers. The main objective of every company should be to deliver value to the customers, because we can see the customers are the ultimate kingmakers in the market. It is not the company but the customers who's the king. And it's a typical mission statement. However, a company is performing from its customers has become therefore a priority for top management. And the balanced scorecard demands that managers translate their general mission statement into customer service, into specific measures that reflect the factors that really matter to customers. So ultimately, all the companies, they should be customer oriented, and they should actually fulfill the needs and wants, and they should try to achieve the organizational goals, and the customer should always be made happy. For example, if a customer actually speaks bad about your brand, it will be affecting the ultimate reputation of your company. Next is customers' concerns tend to fall in 4 categories. That is time, quality, performance and service, and cost. And lead time measures the time required for the company to meet its customers' needs. For existing products, lead time can be measured from the time the company receives an order to the time it actually delivers the product or service to the customer. For example, when we actually take the case of car manufacturers, many car manufacturers, what they do is they actually take at least 6 to 12 months to deliver the car to the customers. But many other companies, what they try to do is they actually try to deliver the car to the customer within a span of 2 to 3 months. There are many brands which are actually performing like this, and because of this, they are able to make the customers very happy, because there is not only one car manufacturer in India, there are a large number of cars which are readily available. Earlier we can see there was no other choice for Indians other than to buy like cars like Ambassador. But now we can see there are many other cars like Toyota is there, Volkswagen is there, Maruti is there, Tata, like that. Many brands have actually come up. So it's not a one single player. There are a large number of companies. And quality, Next is quality measures the defect level of the incoming products as perceived and measured by the customer. And quality could also measure on-time delivery. As I said earlier regarding the on-time delivery, the accuracy of company's delivery forecasts, the combination of performance and service measures, how the company's products and services contribute to creating value for its customers. That is, the companies, they ultimately should deliver value to the final customers. So, for example, from the financial perspective, when we look at the balanced scorecard, the goal should be to survive, succeed, and prosper. And the measures should be cash flow, quarterly sales growth, and operating income by division, increase market share, etc. And from the customer's perspective, the goal should be like new products, responsive supply, preferred supplier, and customer relationship. And the measures should be percent of sales from new products. That is, the percent of sales from every new product can be actually measured. If a product is not doing exceedingly well, corrective measures can be taken. If corrective measures, if implemented and it's not able to succeed, the product should be eventually removed from the market and it should be replaced immediately with a new product which could actually deliver value to the customers. Next is percent of sales from prosperity products. As I mentioned earlier, like in BCG matrix, there are many factors like it's called like cash cows, dogs, like stars, and like that many like four. There are mainly 4 factors. So they should give more importance to fat cows. So in the sense, they'll be able to make more profits from products that actually fall under this particular category. Next is regarding preferred supplier. That is the share of key accounts purchases. Next is regarding the customer partnership. That is a number of cooperative engineering efforts. And from the internal business perspective, the goal should be technology capability, manufacturing excellence, design productivity, new product introduction. That is, measures should be like performing geometry versus competition. The company should always be competitive in the market and should always come up with new products so the customers will always be interested in buying your product because it's able to create a value for them. Next is regarding manufacturing excellence, that is cycle time unit cost yield. For example, if you have actually gone through your operations paper, which is actually taken by another faculty, you might have actually seen a concept called just in time or JIT. In this particular concept, what they try to do is they actually try to deliver the products on time. This particular concept was introduced by Toyota. Next is regarding design productivity, that is silicon efficiency and engineering efficiency. And next is regarding new product introduction, that is actual introduction schedule versus plan. So they actually should have a plan to launch a product and they should come up with a proper framework for it. Next is regarding innovation and learning perspective, that is goal should be technology leadership, that is time to develop next generation. For example, in the case of aircraft, when you look like earlier till now, it's just the 5th generation aircraft that is available. Now the many countries they are actually focusing on 6th generation stealth aircraft. Only very few countries such as US is actually currently developed 6th generation aircrafts. With this, I would like to end my session. If you have any further doubts, we can proceed. Thank you.